Howdy, and welcome back to the Texas Bucket List. Next up, we take a tour of a town from a sky-high perspective. Well, sort of. You see, over at the Milam County Railroad Museum, there is an incredible replica of Cameron, and it details a special time in the life of the creator. A few miles northeast of the massive Austin metropolitan area sits Milam County. Established in 1836 and named after Ben Milam, one of the heroes of the Texas Revolution, the county is rich with history. But the county seat of Cameron has more to offer than just old stories. What are you guys known for out here in Cameron?
Friendly people and railroads.
Jaime Larson is the director of the Milam County Railroad Museum, which sits directly catty-corner from the old courthouse built in 1892. But that courthouse also sits inside the museum.
Courthouse is the showpiece.
It's part of a miniature train set that really gives you a bird's eye view of what Cameron was like back in the 1940s.
Rarely ever see a train layout or a city layout that's as complete as this, all together in one place. There's a wedding going on at a church, there's cedar choppers, there's hobos, there's a broken water main. You can see life in a town.
How big was Cameron back then?
About 5,000.
And what is it now?
It's about the same. It's about the same.
While Cameron hasn't grown much since then, the miniature model of it has.
Well, the scale, the size of it, is pretty amazing.
Everybody calls it a model railroad layout, but it's a model of a town with a railroad going through it.
John Johnson is the man who created this retro replica, and he really likes trains. What inspired you to take on this massive project?
Nothing. It was just an accident.
A collector of model trains since he was a boy, John took over 30 years to build his big project, and it all started by simply building a building that had a big place in his heart. So you started with the depot. So the yellow building?
Yeah, the old yellow one over there.
Okay, that's what started it all.
That was Southern Pacific Depot. That's where I used to watch the train.
From there it grew and grew and grew. During the 70s, 80s, and 90s, John and his wife Frances took the time to replicate as much of Cameron as they could. Researching the town's history by combing through old pictures and listening to people's stories, not realizing that as they built the big little town, they were making a story on their own.
When he married Frances, she caught on to and understood that love that John had for it, and she stood right beside him and helped build all of this with him.
I enjoy using my hands. And I was blessed with a lovely woman, a wife that enjoyed helping me.
John added little details of his life as a little boy. His parents' home, complete with his dog Teddy in the backyard. His grandmother standing outside her house, ready to greet him. And other details around every corner. Is it fun for you to reminisce and think about?
Oh yeah, I still think of it and dream of it. And it was a good town. I had a lot of friends, kiddos we grew up with, and we roamed the streets together, played, went to the movies together.
And now it's all in here.
It's all in here.
John built the buildings, while Frances did most of the painting. Together they kept on track and transformed Cameron into Cameron, on a smaller scale.
They drove around, talked to people together, got pictures from people, of the buildings that were here back in the day. It was a team effort. The two of them were attached at the hip when it came to this model railroad.
I can see why this took 30 years.
Well, it was fun.
That fun included making the extremely detailed courthouse that took months to create.
Decided I was going to build the courthouse, so she helped me photograph it, and we measured it. We walked all the way around the railroad and measured it. She had a scratch pad and she drew it all off. I drew the plans and scaled it down, and then I just went out and bought all the parts of stuff I needed, and what I couldn't buy, I made.
That's amazing. You did an amazing job.
Well, thank you. I'm real proud that it's being showed, and I'm real proud it's getting the publicity that's getting, because it's not doing me no good, but it's doing the community of Cameron good to have this kind of publicity, I hadn't got one dime out of this. The only thing I got is my love for doing it.
I think it's just truly a love of Cameron. As I've gotten to know John, I know his heart is big when it comes to Cameron.
The only other thing closer to John's heart is Francis. And visiting his creation of Cameron doesn't just bring him back to when he was a boy, it brings him back to the decades he spent with his wife, creating their tiny version of their hometown.
Does that bring Francis back too every time you see it?
Oh yeah, she's on my mind every day. I was the luckiest man in the world to find her. She is quite a girl. Good mother, good wife. We enjoyed each other.
So the next time you've got a few minutes to catch the train that runs through the middle of Cameron, visit the Milam County Railroad Museum to see a special moment in time that was made during some special times for John.
God's been good to me. He gave me a good wife, good family. I don't have no answers for you, but I'm telling you, it's what I knew and what I did and what I loved, and that's it. It's just fantastic.
It's just a glimpse back in history, and it's amazing. I just think every Texan needs to see this. It's something special.